what is going on YouTube? Gyvi here. Hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to a new video here on Gyvi Plays. Today I've got a franchise challenge. Now I have done this video before on my main channel, Gyvi World. I did it in MLB 17 and 18 for sure. I don't know if I did it in 19, but we're doing it today. We're going to go ahead and start the MLB over, and there's no better time now that this season is pretty much canceled. We should just start the entire Major League over. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and pick the New York Yankees, rocking my Yankee jersey. I am a Yankee fan, but it doesn't really help us in this situation since we are going to end up with a fantasy draft, and anyone can end up anywhere. Depends on what draft pick we get. So here we are. Somehow the Boston Red Sox end up with number 1, which can be good or bad. I do believe it's Snake. Yankees right in the middle, and let's see what we got. We got some interesting stuff. Ronald Acuna goes number 1 overall to the Boston Red Sox. Of course, 94 overall at 22. He's going to be a 99. Bregman goes second. I'm not okay with that pick. Bellinger, Trout, Arenado, Soto, Betts, Tatis, Chapman, Judge, DeGrom, Albies. And now we got the Yankee pick. Who do we go with? A 35-year-old, probably not the pick. We've also got Anthony Rendon, Yelich, a 37-year-old, 29-year-old Garrett Cole. Not a bad idea. I think the move is, I think it's Christian Yelich. I'm going to go with Christian Yelich in our first pick. We'll go ahead and pick up Christian Yelich. He is now a Yankee. Let's go ahead and advance. Rendon, Baez, Machado, Scherzer. A lot of good guys going. I might go back to that first round and see just the rest of that first round. Rendon, Baez, Machado, Scherzer. So still pretty high for a 35-year-old starting pitcher. Pete Alonso, Lindor, Alvarez, Buehler, Stanton, Harper, Soroka, Brian Story, Flaherty, Osuna, Bieber. I don't think I've said Cole, have I? Round 2. He went to the Brewers. Eugenio Suarez, Joey Gallo, Ramirez, Sale. So we got the 18th pick this time around. We can go with 32-year-old Clayton Kershaw. I'm probably only going to do a couple of picks, maybe 4 or 5-ish, and then we'll see. We got Clevenger, who's 29. Tommy Pham in this game ends up a 99 overall every single time. Expecting big things from Tommy Pham, but we'll see if we can wait another round for him. Yasmani Grandal, solid catcher. Steven Strasburg, only 31 years old. Do we go starting pitcher here? I am taking my sweet time with this pick, ain't I? Josh Donaldson. Still a lot of good guys left. I'm just going to go, for the sake of this video, doesn't really matter. It's still pretty early. I'm just going to go ahead and take Steven Strasburg and simulate to our next pick. So, yeah, there goes JT Realmuto. I kind of wanted JT, thought about it, but wanted some guy, wanted a pitcher who would get us some wins. Aroldis Chapman, Donaldson, Goldschmidt, Tommy Pham. Like I said, Tommy Pham always ends up like a 99 in every time I've simulated this game. But there is also Kluber, only 1 year older. We can have a solid rotation, solid 1-2 punch there. So I'm going to go ahead and see. Not that it matters. Obviously, we're simulating. But I think I'm going to go ahead and simulate the remainder of this draft and just take a look at what teams look like. All right, so here's what we ended up with. Of course, you saw my first 3 picks of Yelich, Strasburg, Kluber. We ended up with Eduardo Escobar, Posey, Canely, Brian Dozier, Lance McCullers, CJ Cron, Doolittle. So not a bad little team. Let's take a look at what other teams in the major leagues kind of look like, which is pretty dope. Paul Goldschmidt ends up on the Rays, their best player, with Yordan Alvarez. That's a good little combo. And Paul DeJong. There's some pop in this lineup right here. Stanton to the Blue Jays, Hader, Region, Ryu. It's crazy you do these simulations and you think that most teams end up balanced. They don't. A couple teams still end up sucking. It's always really funny to see which teams just don't draft well. Hyun-Jin Ryu, Michael Conforto, Sean Manaea, so pretty solid there. Looks like the White Sox next. We got Bryce Harper, Miguel Sano, Robinson Cano. He's 37 though. He usually retires after this season. Corey Dickerson, Gavin Lux. So you got to think about that when you do this kind of draft. Brett Gardner, a White Sox. Ugh. All right, in the Indians, we got Chris Sale, Avisail, Xander. So not a bad top 3. We'll just look at the top 3. Anthony Rendon, Justin Verlander, and Gallegos to the Tiger. Jock Peterson as well. Javi Baez, a Dodger. I can see that move actually happening someday, and that's scary to me. Liam Hendricks, Rafael Devers, and Lourdes. JD Martinez, Chris Bryant. I like this right here. I actually really like this right there. JD Martinez and Chris Bryant, Sonny Gray, and Josh Bell to the Twins. Kind of looking like Sano there. Scary. Cody Bellinger, Snell, and Santana. Bellinger moved from one Los Angeles team to another. Andrelton Simmons remains an Angel. Jacob deGrom, Realmuto, Bauer, and Peralta in Oakland. Scherzer, Donaldson, Aaron Nola in Seattle. Bregman, Castillo, Olsen, Zunino, Eduardo Rodriguez as well. All Texas Rangers. Mookie Betts ends up in Houston. Mel Mookie, I don't want to hate you. Kenley Jensen, Trey Turner, and Luis Severino with James Paxton and Ozuna. Okay, how did this team end up so freaking good? What the heck? Wilson Ramos? How did this team end up so freaking good? Clayton Kershaw, Charlie Morton, Tatis, Brad Hand, Ramon Laureano, Aaron Judge, Presley, Byron Buxton, Yoan Moncada, Carlos Martinez, and Masahiro Tanaka on the Marlins. We got Albies, Bumgarner, Urias Marquez. Machado ends up a Met. That is gross. I do not like it at all. Machado a Met. I would hate that. Max Muncy and Carlos Correa. I can see Correa a Met someday. Mike Moustakas and Jake Odorizzi and Eloy Jimenez. This team's kind of stacked as well. Very good 80 overalls on this team. Edwin Diaz remains. And Adam Ottavino moves from one New York team to the other. So, gets to stay in his hometown. Walker Buehler, Aroldis, DJ LeMahieu, Eddie Rosario, Zach Wheeler remains a Philly. So, this team's pretty good as well. Syndergaard on the Cubs. Will Smith and Gary Sanchez. All right, Ken Giles, Ketel, Marte, and Simeon Reds. We're almost done. We got Garrett Cole, Brewer, with Trevor Story and Justin Turner, and Nicholas Castellano, VR, Clevenger. This team is pretty solid too. Roberto Osuna in Pittsburgh with Tommy Pham. I kind of wanted him. And Jose Ramirez. Joey Gallo is in St. Louis with Springer and Bieber and Votto. We got Jose Altuve, Eugenio, and Jose Abreu on the D-backs. Nolan remains at Colorado Rockies, so that he's got to be miserable at this point and hating his life. McCutchen, Barrios, Roberto Perez, Dinelson Lamet, Charlie Blackmon remains as well. Rocky, Craig Kimbrough. So this team is pretty solid as well. Lindor, a Dodger, another guy who I can definitely see a Dodger someday. Freddie Freeman, Colton, and Dellin. And Mike Trout, this is where he is, hitting on the Padres with Kyle Hendricks and Schwarber and Wilson Contreras. Last but not least, we have Zach Greinke, Juan Soto, and Brandon Morrow, Chris Paddock on the Giants, and Justin Upton. So that's pretty much the major league. Everyone? What is this? Is this free agents? Oh, I forgot the Red Sox. We got Ronald Acuna, Yasmani Grandal, Lance Lynn. I did forget the Orioles, Kirby Yates, Matt Chapman, Hunter Renfroe, Witt and Shohei, and Jorge and Aaron. This is a good team as well. The Baltimore Orioles are actually good, and it takes an all MLB draft for the Baltimore Orioles to actually be good. All right, so that's what we got. We're going to go ahead and simulate a little bit, probably get to about the halfway point and see what this is all looking like. All right, so we're up to the All-Star Game. Really quickly, we got not the All-Star Game. We got the Home Run Derby. We got Goldie, Ronald Acuna, Edwin Encarnacion with 31, Eloy, Mike Trout, Max Muncy, Nolan Arenado's the only one on a familiar team, and Anthony Rendon. So pretty solid Home Run Derby. Unfortunate that no one on our team got there. We'll go ahead and sim through that and take a look at the All-Star Game. So in pitching, Chris Sale at 12-2 on the Indians, Blake Snell on the Angels, 9-4. Verlander back to Detroit. Matt Andrees, a Seattle Mariner, Jacob deGrom, an Oakland A, Merrill Kelly, Hector Neris, Corey Knebel, Taylor Rogers, Kirby Yates, Kenley Jensen, and Liam Hendricks. A lot of really familiar faces. In the lineup, we got Marte, an All-Star, Bogarts, Yelich, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rendon, Chris Bryant. Pretty much a lot of names you're used to seeing. Ronald Acuna, obviously, Paul Goldschmidt, Mitch Garver, Tommy La Stella is a freaking All-Star. AJ Pollock, James McCann, Zunino, Moreland, Frazier, Escobar, Segura, Puig, Hayward, Soler, deGrom. Those are the pitchers. And on the other side, we ended up Greinke, Corbin, Morton, Bundy, Garrett Cole, Edgar Garcia. Okay. Joe Jimenez, Brandon Workman, Brad Hand, Ken Giles, Roberto Osuna, and Will Smith are All-Stars. And in the offensive side, Ketel Marte, Votto, Trout, Arenado, Eloy, Charlie Blackmon, Mike Moustakas, Simeon Narvaez, Flowers, Collins, Hosmer, Flores, Miguel Andujar, Tim Anderson, Gurriel, Alonso, Springer, Eaton, and Reyes. So a pretty solid all-star team. A lot of guys that I expected, a couple guys I didn't. let's go ahead and figure out how the rest of the season ends out. All right, so we made it to the end of the year. We have game 162 left, but I don't want statistics to clear. The AL East was a disaster. It's so unrealistic in this draft that only the Red Sox are a good team. Talk about unrealistic, ladies and gentlemen. The Red Sox suck. Anyways, let's take a look at the standings. 97-64 Red Sox. They clinched. Everyone else in the AL East is eliminated. Yankees at 76 wins, Rays 75, Blue Jays 73, and Orioles 63. So the order is somewhat realistic, but 21 games back and a losing record. In the AL Central, we had the White Sox win the division. In the AL West, we had the Rangers and Astros make the playoffs, and A's too. So the AL West ended up with 3 teams, 2 wild cards, and the division winner. In the NL, we had the Braves win the division, the Reds won the division, the Rockies won the division, and your wild card are the Brewers and Dodgers. Really quickly, Xander Bogaerts leading batting average and hits. Kyle Tucker in at bats, Bogaerts in doubles. Triples is John Birdie. I feel like he very often leads in triple. What is his speed? It's 91, and it went down. Ronald Acuna putting up crazy numbers with 49 home runs with a 289 batting average. Solid year, 9.8 WAR. Led in RBIs as well with 127. Led in runs with 111. If he only had that batting average, he would have won a triple crown. Trey Turner leading with 50 stolen bases. Chris Bryant on walks. OBP Bregman slugging Yelich. OPS Yelich. Zach Davies in pitching with 19 wins. Almost had a 20-game win season. Maybe in game 162, if he pitches, he may get it. Steve Matz only had 4 losses. Seth Lugo with 56 saves. Severino leading in ERA with 2.69. Please be healthy soon, Severino. Matz allowed only 17 home runs. Baruki with shutouts. Sale leading in Ks with Scherzer and Strasburg. Bauer, DeGrom. A lot of guys you expect there. Verlander, Paxton, Severino. Andrew Heaney? Okay. Fulton Wicks with 6 complete games. Sale led in innings pitched. Smeltzer walk allowed. Whip Shamanaya. Pitching war, Sale. Batting war, Acuna. And we'll take a look at the NL as well. We had batting average leaders with Adam Eaton, Moncada, and Trout. We had 13 guys in the NL bat over 300. Pretty solid. Simeon led with 204 hits. Pretty good year. Tim Anderson with 44 doubles. Trevor Story with 12 triples, leading the entire MLB. Nolan Arenado, 49 home runs, tied with Acuna. Mike Trout in third with 46 home runs. Just 1 run shy of 100 runs, 7 shy of 100 RBIs. So still a good year with a 9.9 WAR. I'm guessing he's your WAR leader for the year. Arenado with 137 RBIs, Simeon 113 runs. He's in a cold stretch and he batted 315. That is insane. Didi Gregorius 51, so he just beat out Trey Turner. Base on balls, Freddie Freeman. On base, Eaton. Trout with slugging and OPS. Usually the guy who's leading in slugging is leading in OPS. Aaron Savale with 17 wins. Joe Musgrove 4 losses. 47 saves for Will Smith. Savale with a 2.48 ERA is pretty damn impressive. I did not expect that from this guy at all. He went up to an 88 overall. Tony Gonsolin, I hope that's how that's pronounced. 16 home runs allowed. That's a lot more. No, it is. Steven Matz 17. Clayton Kershaw only had 3 shutouts. And here are your strikeout leaders. Garrett Cole with 293, almost a 300 strikeout season. Wow. In 222.1 innings. Charlie Morton with 244. Archer, Lamet, Clevenger, Giolito, Bieber, Boyd, Barrios, and Corbin round out your top 10. I thought I did complete games. There's innings. Walks allowed, Masahiro Tanaka 41. Zach Greinke with a 1.05 ERA, pretty close to Sean Manaea. Pitching war, Garrett Cole leads with a 6.6. And your batting war leader, Mike Trout, by miles in the NL over Marcus Semien. But he was right there. Bryant, Rendon, Bregman, Acuna, Trout, all in the 9s. And Xander and Christian Yelich in the mid-8s. So pretty good stuff. We'll go ahead and take a look at the playoffs and see who's in it. The Yankees have finished 76 and 86. Unfortunately, that wasn't good enough to make the postseason. Better luck next year. All right, so here we go. We got wild card games. We got Oakland and Texas. And we've got the Dodgers and Milwaukee. Can you just not talk, dude, please? We'll go ahead and simulate this game. And would you look at that? The Brewers beat the Dodgers 2-1. Here is the next game, A's versus Rangers. We'll simulate that. I think that's the last wild card game. It is. We'll simulate that as well, and the Rangers make it to the next round. Let's go ahead and simulate through the first round of the playoffs. All right, so in the National League, the Cincinnati Reds and the Colorado Rockies have moved forward, and then everyone out in the AL is tied at 2 with Houston, Boston, Texas, and Chicago White Sox. So let's take a look at today's games. No games, they're both on the next day. We'll go ahead and simulate, and it looks like the Astros destroyed the Red Sox. One more game, the Rangers narrowly beating the White Sox, so they will be facing off in the ALCS. All right, we made it to the World Series, and we've got the Texas Rangers versus the Cincinnati Reds. Only in a parallel universe would that be the World Series. So let's go ahead and find the Rangers, and let's go ahead and simulate and see what this World Series looks like. We'll sim through game 1, and it's a 7-8 loss. Keone Kela to Sam Dyson. Game 2 is a win. It's even. Eduardo Rodriguez versus John Gray. Pretty solid matchup. Game 3 is another win for the Texas Rangers. Ryan Baruki coming through clutch. 2.08 ERA is pretty solid. Josh James taking the loss. Game 4 is another W for the Texas Rangers, and they're one game away from winning the World Series versus the Cincinnati Reds. Ladies and gentlemen, only in a simulation would the Rangers defeat the Reds in the 2020 World Series, where we restart the entire Major League. So pretty solid stuff. We'll go ahead and take a look real quick. All right, so let's take a look at the 2020 awards. Look like Ronald Acuna won the MVP in the American League. Chris Sale wins Cy Young for the Indians. Xander Bogaerts with a batting title, batting 348 for the Indians. Seth Lugo with 56 saves is your reliever of the year. Yoshimoto Susugu. That's my best attempt. Rookie of the year. Christian Yelich wins your Hank Aaron Award, so he was probably our only award winner. Griffin Canning wins your Gold Glove and pitcher. Grandal, Mitch Moreland, Brian Dozier, Matt Chapman, Paul DeJong, Hunter Renfroe, Ronald Acuna, and Mookie Betts are all Gold Glove recipients. Silver Sluggers are AJ Pollock, Mitch Garver, Goldie, Tommy La Stella, Chris Bryant, Xander Bogaerts, Ronald Acuna, and Christian Yelich. So we did get 2 wins from Christian Yelich and Mitch Haniger. Postseason MVP is Victor Reyes, batting 403 with 10 RBIs. And your World Series MVP is what? Batted 591 in the World Series with 6 RBIs. 6 out of 10 RBIs coming in the World Series. That's crazy. In the National League, we had Nolan Arenado as your MVP. Garrett Cole as your Cy Young. Adam Eaton is the batting title. Will Smith, your reliever of the year. Vincente Campos is your rookie of the year. Mike Trout, Hank Aaron Award. Gold Gloves go to Dustin May, Tom Murphy, Jesus Aguilar, DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado. That's kind of, no, never mind. Nolan Arenado at third. Willie Adames, Eddie Rosario, Byron Buxton, and Aaron Judge. 2 Miami Marlins winning Gold Gloves. Your Silver Slugger, Zach Greinke, Omar Narvaez, Pete Alonso, Scooter Gennett, Nolan Arenado, Marcus Semien, Trout, and Charlie Blackmon, and Eloy Jimenez. And your postseason MVP in the NL was Miguel Andujar, and no World Series MVP, of course, since the AL ended up winning. The Texas Rangers are your World Series champions. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this little simulation. If you guys want to see more simulations like this, just let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I will be bringing more videos like this, more franchise videos and other simulations and road to the show and stuff like that. So make sure you do subscribe. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.